Hi everyone, Miss Chelsea here from the Grandview Heights Public Library to share a puppet story with you called Anansi and the Moss-Covered Rock. This is an African folktale and there are lots of Anansi trickster tales out there. This is just one of them. So here is Anansi. Anansi was a spider. And one day he went walking through the cool forest, and he saw something a little strange right here. He said, "Oh, isn't that a strange moss-covered rock?" And kaboom! Down Anansi went. When he woke up an hour later, his head was spinning. He said, "Oh, what happened? I was just walking through the forest and I saw this strange thing here, and I said, 'Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?' And kaboom! Down he went again. Well, an hour later, Anansi woke up again, and his head was still spinning, but he said to himself, 'Oh, I know what's happening here. Whenever anyone sees this thing right here and says, 'Isn't this a down they go.' Well, I know just how to use this." So Anansi went to Bear's house, and Bear had lots of honey on his porch. And Anansi loved honey, but he didn't want to work for it. So he asked Bear, "Hey Bear, it's so nice out today. Would you like to go for a walk with me in the cool forest?" "Well, I sure would, thanks for asking," said Bear. So they walked along and came across the moss-covered rock. And Anansi said, "Oh, look down there, Bear." And Bear said, "Isn't that a strange moss-covered rock?" And kaboom! Down Bear went. Anansi went to Bear's house, took all of his honey, and took it to his house. Bear woke up, his head was spinning, and he was so sad when he went home, and the honey was all gone. "That worked really well," said Anansi. "I'm going to play my trick again." So this time he went to, let's see where he went. Who's that? Squirrel's house. And what do you think Squirrel had on his porch? Nuts. Anansi loved nuts. So he asked Squirrel, "Would you like to go for a walk with me in the cool forest?" "Sure," said Squirrel. "I would just love to do that with you, Anansi." So they went walking. And of course they came across the spot. And Anansi said, Squirrel, look at that. "Oh, isn't that a strange moss-covered rock?" And down he went because it was kaboom! Anansi went to Squirrel's house and took all of his nuts back to his house for himself. Squirrel woke up, his head spinning, and went back to his house and saw the nuts were all gone. Anansi then wanted to try to play his trick on Mouse. Because what do you think Mouse had on her porch? Cheese, lots of cheese. And Anansi loved cheese, so he went up to Mouse and said, "Oh, hello Mouse, would you like to go for a walk with me in the cool forest?" "Oh, I certainly would. That sounded very fun. Thank you for asking." So they went through the forest back to that spot, and Mouse saw it first. That, "Oh, isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?" And of course, kaboom! Down Mouse went. Anansi went back to Mouse's house, took all of the cheese for himself, and Mouse woke up, her tiny little head spinning, said, "Oh, I don't know what happened. Where's Anansi?" And she went home and realized all of her cheese was gone and was very sad. Well, Little Bush Deer had been watching this whole thing, and Little Bush Deer was very sly. She knew Anansi loved coconuts, so she went and gathered lots and lots of coconuts and put them on her porch and waited for Anansi to come by. Sure enough, Anansi came by, said, "Oh, hello, Little Bush Deer." His eyes were lighting up when he saw those coconuts. "Oh, hello, Anansi. Oh, would you like to go for a walk with me in the cool forest?" "Oh, I sure would. Thank you for asking." So they went walking through the woods, and Anansi pointed out the same spot as before. Said, "Oh, do you see what I see, Little Bush Deer?" "No, I don't see anything." "Oh, You must see it, said Anansi. You see it, don't you? It's right there. Nope, I don't see anything. You're crazy, Anansi. No, you see it. You just don't want to say it, said Anansi. Oh, say what? You know, okay, if it makes you happy, I'll say it. You know, no, said Anansi. You're supposed to say, isn't it a strange moss-covered rock? And kaboom! Down Anansi went. Little Bush Deer went back and got all the cheese from Anansi's and brought it back to Mouse's house. Went back and got the nuts and took them to Squirrel's house. And he got all of the honey and took them to Bear's house. When Anansi woke up, Little Bush Deer was nowhere to be found. He said, oh, she tricked me. I don't know what to do. So he went home and all of his food was gone. But if you think Anansi stopped playing tricks that day, you're wrong. He is still playing tricks to this very day. And that is the end of Anansi and the Moss-Covered Rock. Bye-bye, everyone.